Hi Faith, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Lauren?
I am doing great. Excited to have you out here today. Have you been to Woodley before?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I'm excited.
It's one of our only grass driving ranges in the San Fernando Valley, so it should be thrilling to hit some shots that simulate the golf course. All right, so we're going to start with a quick warm up and then we'll keep talking, so just follow along with me as we do our warm up. All right, so we're going to start with some foot circles. So Faith, how long have you been playing golf for?
I first started playing like 2 years ago, but I really wouldn't say more than 6 months I've actually considered myself a
All
golfer.
right, let's switch. And are you enjoying the game so far?
Yes, it's always really fun. Just playing for fun.
Okay, and what do you usually shoot during a round?
Um,
We're gonna switch to leg swings while you think about that.
like 110.
Okay, 110. And if you could ideally say like what you want to shoot by the end of this year, what average would you want to be at?
I'd love to break 100.
Okay, break 100. That's a great goal. I remember the first time I broke 100. It was thrilling. So I'm here to help you. All right. And do you play any other sports besides golf? We're going to go across now.
No, I don't. I was a dancer all growing up.
Wow, I used to dance too, like competitive dance.
Ballet, and then a little bit competitively in
Okay,
college.
great. Awesome. Do you still do that or?
Not so much
All right, that's okay. And what else do you enjoy besides playing golf?
anymore. I like to go to the beach.
All right, we like to go to the beach. We're going to do
Orange Theory now.
right here.
I work out.
Okay. So we like to work out. Do you have any pain in your body? No. Have you ever had any surgeries?
No surgeries.
Okay, let's switch. No surgeries. All right. So we always start with a warm up before we hit some golf shots. Golf is an unnatural movement, so we want to make sure that we're protecting our body. So all those injuries that we don't have, we're going to avoid them by warming up. All right, we're going to do some torso twists now. So keep your feet planted and go in here. All right. So Orange Theory, and what else did you enjoy doing?
Going to the beach.
Going to the beach. Oh,
Summer.
it is the summer. All right. We like going to the beach, hanging out with some friends.
Yep.
I love that. I love your outfit. Maybe shopping too, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Let's finish off with some wrist circles, warming up our wrists. Our hands are really important to protect as golfers. Sometimes we get some wrist injuries, so we're going to prevent them. We're going to go the other way. Awesome. And do you usually wear a glove when you golf?
I do, yes.
Okay, great. So we'll make sure we add that on. Good job following. Oh my gosh, we have matching nails too. Look at us go, twins. Awesome. All right, good job with the warm up. So let's grab your glove and we'll discuss what we want to work on today. All right. Perfect. Good to practice with how you usually play. So we'll add that glove on. And so Faith, what are we struggling with out on the golf course?
When I hit iron shots, a lot of times I'll top the ball.
Okay.
It
Does
far.
doesn't go very far. Yeah, that can be frustrating.
Yeah.
Do you ever hit a good shot where it goes in the air?
Mhm.
Okay. And what do we think is the difference?
I mean, definitely that I get under the ball more and make solid contact
Okay.
with it when it goes in the air.
All right, great. And do you find it easier to get the ball in the air if you're off of a tee, like off of a tee box versus the fairway?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great. And then before we get started, how do you like to process information? Like, what's the easiest way for you to learn?
I would say I'm a visual learner.
Okay.
I like to learn by doing, practicing always.
All right, great. So visual, do by practicing, all the good stuff. All right, we'll try to implement that in. It's really important that you as a student know what's going on because you got to practice it. All right, I'm not here 24 hours a day. Okay, so we want to work on our irons.
Mhm.
Is there a specific iron that you want to work on?
Probably my 7-iron.
Okay, let's start with the 7-iron. All right, and do you like these golf clubs that you have?
Yeah, I like them.
They look pretty new, yeah?
Yeah, they're actually given to me, but the person who had them before was my same size, so it worked
Okay.
out.
All right, yeah, they look decent size and they're nice and light for you.
Mhm.
Okay, and the grips are good, which is important. So clubs don't go flying out your hands. Okay, so I'm gonna watch you take some swings. Just move that. And these golf balls are for you. We have some tees if we do want to use those a little bit later, but let's start with some practice swings. All right, whenever you feel ready, grab a ball. And where do you want to aim at today? What are we thinking?
Um, aim towards the middle flag over there.
The
The
yellow
yellow
one?
flag?
Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good. Yellow flag. It's like to have some sort of target in our head because on the golf course, right, we have a target, not just hitting aimlessly. So let's practice with a purpose here. All right, our yellow target, let's make sure we're over there. Right, you're a little bit left of that right now, just so you know. There you go. Good job. Okay. Is that pretty typical for the result?
Yeah.
All right. What would we rate that one out of 10?
Like a 6.
Okay, a 6 out of 10. All right. Okay, let's go again. We'll hit 2 more and then we'll get started. All right. Take your time with your setup. Look at our yellow flag out there. All righty. Okay.
Okay.
Don't worry. That's why we're here. Golf can be hard. So we're going to be patient with ourselves. So what I always say when we're doing lessons, it's really important to focus on what's happening here versus getting too bothered about the result. So we're really going to prioritize everything that we're doing in this area with our golf swing. Okay. So this is our learning area. It's a good time to hit bad shots. Doesn't matter. We'll forget about them. Okay. So first I want you to explain to me, how do you think the ball gets in the air?
I think that the club makes contact with the ball, and like the angle of the club pushes it up into the air.
Okay. So I'm noticing right now that you're doing this motion. Do you think that this is what gets the ball into the air? This with your the scooping motion?
Yeah.
Okay. So in our head, sometimes what we think is going to really help us out, it's going to hurt us. All right. So it's okay. A lot of golfers have the thought that for us to get the ball in the air, we have to scoop it out like ice cream scoopers. You're at Baskin Robbins, you're scooping it out. Okay. That's the opposite of what we're going to be doing today. For us to get the ball into the air, we really need to make contact with the ground. All right. I like to call that brushing the grass. All right. And really focusing on making that good connection point with the bottom of the ground. So if we have our ball, imagine that my ball is the grass. We are going to try to make contact here. Notice where the handle is, where the grip is. Do you see how it's in front of the ball versus over here? This is the scoop.
Right.
This is where we're going to try to hit the ball. Our golf club is designed to get our ball in the air. It wants to help us. It is designed to help us, I promise. So you have to let it help you by making contact with the bottom of the ground. Okay? So right now, you're hitting the ball over here. What part of the ball are you hitting?
Top.
You're hitting the top of the ball, or you're hitting the center of the ball, right? With your club face pointing up towards the sky. So we're really going to focus on getting here more, connecting with the grass, brushing that grass, and now look at where my hands are. Remember, our hands are going to be forward. So hitting down onto the ground is what gets our ball into the sky. Really important concept for us to be able to consistently get our ball into the air. All right? So it's okay. I know we're on grass. Sometimes it's scary to make the divot, but we can make a divot. I promise. We will fix it up. Maintenance will come out here and make it beautiful again. So let's take some practice swings. And I really want you to prioritize brushing the grass. All right. And what that's going to look like. Watch me first. We're going to be going up and swinging through. And look at that divot I just made. The divot is the mark that we make when our club hits the ground. All right. So that's kind of what we're trying to look for versus just swiping the air. All right. On your first couple practice swings, we were swinging above the air over here. Yeah, when the ball's on the ground. It's okay. So really commit to that, making the divot, brushing the grass with our hands leading on our downswing. All right, I love it. It's the opposite of what we were doing. Okay, it's okay. We're exaggerating it. It's fine. Don't worry. It's just grass. It's just grass.
Okay.
That's okay. All right, I'm going to take a video. So hold on. Let me get back here. You can keep taking practice swings and I'll let you know when we're ready over here. Oh, that was good contact. So I want you to really think about the sound that the club is making off the ground. All right. Nice job. And also checking in on that divot patterns. Okay. I am going to take a video. So if you want to grab a ball, that'd be awesome. And make sure you're aimed at your yellow flag, just checking in on it. Great job. Go ahead when you're ready. It's all right. Remember, we're exploring. Okay, I'm coming in, so don't hit me. All righty. So here's our backswing and our downswing over here in this area. Just still having a tough time getting our hands forward, which is okay. I'm going to do another video from front on so you can see, but our setup is looking all right. Going up to the top and swinging through. Have you ever seen a video of yourself hitting a golf ball? No? What are you thinking of that?
It's helpful.
It's helpful to look at it?
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to really focus on your impact position because that's what we're working on today, prioritizing. We can continue to focus on your hands getting a little bit more forward, all right, which is going to be our goal of today so we can get our ball into the air. We're still scooping a little bit. So on the video, let me borrow this for a moment. We're looking like here at impact, all right? We're trying to get here. So we'll do everything to get there. I'm going to take a video from front on so you can see from this point because also important for you to see from this direction with what we're working on today. When you're ready. Ooh, we made a divot. Okay, all right. Hey, that's promising. We're going to focus in on impact again. Now look at where your hands are, right? They're like equal to the ball. So we're looking pretty good there. I really like that we made a divot. Okay, so it's the opposite of what we've been working on, which is great. Connection point with the ground. All right, so let's do some more practice swings. Great swing. Okay, and Faith, one more thing we're going to work on today is adjusting your grip a little bit. Okay. So grip on for me. Sometimes this hand with your glove, it's turned over a little too much where you can see this logo. So let's try to be here a little bit more. Okay. So we're trying to look for a consistent grip, something that we can repeat. Repeatable patterns are really important in golf. So that's looking awesome. So really check in on where that logo is pointing right now. That's awesome. Okay, go ahead. Okay, good job. All right. One more. That was really good. Look at that divot. Our divot tells us a really good story. So this divot, right, we just have a little bit coming out. That one where you hit the ground, that flash shot, it was just a little too much of a divot. So that's like why golf is so challenging. We take a little bit of a divot, we take no divot, too much of a divot, all that great stuff. Just trying to find a good balance of all of that.
Happy medium.
Okay, happy medium. All right, let's hit one more. One more ball, and then we'll talk some more. You got it. Stay confident with it. And check in on that grip that we worked on. Where's your logo pointing? Good job adjusting. Whoa! Oh my goodness. You did make a divot. That was a great shot. That was awesome. I was just so excited for you. I'm sorry for my reaction. I just so pumped. That was great. Okay, so Faith, our goal, right, for this lesson is to really get our ball in the air, like that last shot. That was awesome. Do we feel good about that one?
Yes. we do.
Okay, great. So, how many out of 10 do we want to get the ball in the air? What are we thinking?
I think 3 is a good goal.
Okay, 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10.
All right, that sounds good to me. So let me count off 10 golf balls for you so we don't lose track. I tend to lose track of counting, so this really helps me out. And I always try to build in micro goals even during my practice. Just helps me stay focused on what I'm working on versus just making swings over and over again. It's a really intentional practice. All right, when you practice by yourself, have you ever thought about that?
Not really.
Okay, that's all right. Something to build in though. So let's do some more practice swings here. Oh, wow. Okay, we got our one already. Starting off strong. That's great. Okay, and so look at our divot. And what do we think about that pattern, that divot pattern?
It seems like it's a little bit much.
A little too much? Did it feel like too much? Like your hands got stuck in the grass?
Not really.
I think that one's okay.
Okay.
Sometimes the look of the divot, right?
It's a scary looking one.
It doesn't look too scary. No. It doesn't look scary. Some over there look scary. That one's looking pretty good. So Faith, the next thing we're going to talk about, which is not part of the lesson, but just so you know, when we hit on the grass driving range, we're going to try to get our lines going, right? So you see how some of these divots are in a line? Just something to keep the grass a little bit easier. So since we're going to hit 10 shots right now, let's try to get our ball going in a line. Okay. Still focusing on our target out there. Good job. And check in on our grip. Do you have any questions on the grip? Are you feeling good about it?
No.
Okay, great. That's okay. So what did we miss in that swing?
I don't know.
It's okay. Let's review. So what gets our ball in the air?
Being forward when you hit it and hitting the ground.
Okay, and what do you mean by being forward? What is that?
Your hands in front of the ball.
Okay, great. So we talked about, can I borrow this? We talked about our ice cream scooping, right? Baskin Robbins. We love ice cream. We're going to try to avoid that at the golf course. So making the descending motion into the ground so we can hit the center of our club face, okay, with our handle being a little bit forward. So at impact, we set up here. At impact, we're going to be here more. All right, look at how my weight is going towards my front side, which you're already doing really good. So we haven't talked about that, but we do need to get this point where we can be over here, okay? Because sometimes you like to scoop and your body's still here, right? But our hands are looking in this position, which is really challenging to make that consistent contact. Our priority of golf, consistent, repeatable patterns, all that great stuff. All right, so we have a couple left. We got one really good one. Stay focused on what we're working on. Check in on your grip. You want to do a practice swing or just go for the ball? Okay, okay. Nice. Great shot. Okay, so we got two.
Two in the air so far.
Did you like that divot a little bit more? It wasn't so deep.
Yeah.
Okay, so we call that divot shallow. You know, like a pool. We have a shallow pool. That's what we call that divot. It's a little bit more shallow versus steep into the ground. The steep divots, those are the really big chunky ones. If you've ever seen on TV those divots that go flying, I know you're at the US Open, so you probably saw those big divots coming flying out of the ground. So we're just trying to get any sort of divot right now. Just trying to... Good job fixing your grip. That's okay. So let's talk about that shot. All right. Sometimes it happens. So that's that steep divot we were talking about.
Yeah.
And when we make our divot, we're this far behind the ball. Yeah. It's going to be tough to hit a good shot, but it's okay. It happens. I think we got really excited about overemphasizing hitting the ground, which is all right. So even if we exaggerate it too much, it's still a different pattern. So let's just do it a little bit less. Let's go back to our practice swing area and really focus on those good ones. So check in on your grip before you swing. There you go. Good job. Nice job. Making good contact at the bottom. Awesome. All right. What would we rate that one? Do we think that one should be in the 3 pile, or should we set it aside?
I didn't really make as much of the divot as I'd like.
Okay, so let's not count that one.
Count it.
I'll give you like a half point.
Okay.
All right, let's review what we've talked about so far.
Okay.
So what is our very first thing that we discussed? Do you remember?
So, not scooping.
Okay, not scooping. And can you show me what that means? What scooping is?
So scooping is when you're back here when you hit the ball.
Okay. Good job.
So I want to be straight forward, and then also make sure my grip is adjusted correctly.
Okay. And what is our other really big focus? It's down here.
While making a divot.
Okay. Making a divot, and we really like to emphasize like brushing the grass, right? So we're gonna try to brush the grass because we don't want to make those massive divots like back here. All right. So go over here for a moment. How we can really adjust our divot pattern and where we make contact is by staying just neutral with our body. So making sure that we're not going here on our downswing or going too far down into the ground. So all of that extra movement is going to make it challenging for us to make the divot where the ball is, right? Because that's our goal, to make contact at the ground where our ball is, not way back here, way in the front over here. Now I do want to explain that when we do take a divot, come on over here for a moment. For this shot specifically, right, we hit this divot. This is where the ball would have been. So we make contact and then the club is going down into the ground, okay? So instead of the ball being over here hitting behind, right, this would be if you chunk the ball, kind of where it just goes right there. It doesn't go too far. So this is where our ball, if we imagine before we hit this divot, that's where it was, all right? So just something to think about, because remember our divot tells us a story, so I always like to check in on it. So go back over there for a moment. We're really talking about our neutral back, okay? Going up, swinging through, and we can brush the grass versus trying to attack the ball or get super scared and stand up, all right? So all those things, they make it difficult for us sometimes to make good contact at the bottom. Do you have any questions about that?
Nope.
Okay, all right, we got how many more shots left? 6 left?
6 left.
All right, you can do it.
Okay.
6 left. Let's be focused on what we're working on. You're doing a good job with your grip. Awesome shot. That was a really great one. Right where you were aimed at too. Remember our yellow flag?
I think I was aimed a little left before.
Okay. All right. On that one, you think you were aimed a little left, or you thought you were good?
I think I adjusted on that one, and I
okay. So when we first started the lesson, sometimes you did aim a little bit left. I think we talked about that, but just checking in on it. The priority of our lesson today is really focusing on our contact, all right? And then now we can add in our alignment too. So have you ever used an alignment stick before? Or okay, so we don't have one of those in our golf bag. So an alignment stick, it looks like this. It's a pretty cool guy, but if you don't have one of these, because not everyone has one of these, we can just use a golf club. So let's use a golf club to get our alignment down. And we can go right here. So if we stand back over here, we can double check on it. We always like to stand back and look. Does that look good to you? It will be over here. And now you have a free alignment stick. Okay, so then something easier to think about, right? Where we don't have to continuously say, oh, am I actually aligned there? You can always throw a club down. Now you don't have to have your feet touching. It's just more of a guide, a tool to ensure that we're aiming out towards our target area. I still like that one. I know I went a little bit left.
Yeah.
That was a
it
good
felt
shot.
Better, for sure.
Okay, good job. Our priority, get the ball in the air.
Mhm.
Next lesson, we work on the direction.
Yeah.
You got it. All right. So check in on what we missed. Tell me one thing we missed on that one.
I think, I didn't hit the ground.
Yep.
So that's the main thing.
That's the main thing,
Yeah.
right? It's not a trick question.
Yeah.
I like to ask you questions so you understand, right, what we're working on. Because as soon as I leave, I need you to practice it, right? Okay, so that was the main thing that we missed. We don't have to go crazy town. That's the main priority. So continue to focus on it. Let's do a practice swing over here. You have enough room. If that golf club's scaring you, you can go on the other side of it. If you think that's too close. Check in on your grip. Sorry.
That's okay.
Told you a little late. There you go. Better late than never. Let's try again. All right, it's okay. So a cool thing that I like to implement sometimes when I'm having a tough time making the divot where the ball would be, I like find a leaf or something. So we find this leaf and we'll put it on the ground and set up to the leaf, your golf club. We're going to take our practice swing at the leaf and we're going to try to get this to launch out. Okay, and that's going to tell us that I made the divot at the right time. All right, so you can use a leaf, a broken tee, anything. Go ahead. Okay, well, we tried to move it. We just didn't make the contact. So let's go again. There you go.
Better.
That was great. You ready to go to the ball?
I think so.
Okay, let's move up to the ball. Stay confident over it. Great shot. I like that one. Okay. That one was slightly thin, meaning that we, could I borrow this? We hit a little bit high over here on the ball versus connecting, but it was good enough that we hit a good shot, right? So it's not going to be perfect every time, but if we could get, if that's like the worst shot we hit on the golf course, then it's easier to control it. Nice shot. All right, was that our fourth good one, you think?
I think so.
Okay, we got one more. We're past our goal. Now we're in extra credit. You did it. Did great. Okay, let's do a practice swing. Did you like to use a leaf or we don't like that?
I like the leaf.
Okay, so pick one out so you can work on that. The leaf is easy and then you don't waste golf balls, right? Because the golf balls are the big bucks.